I'm Michael Dries, and this is the BMW i3 Used Car Buyer's Guide. In this video, we'll explore all the changes that happened to the i3 over the years, including different options and packages and features, different powertrain options, and different interior options. If you're looking for a detailed review of this 2018 BMW i3, check out my full detailed review on the video that you see above up in the corner. Now, while what you're looking at here is a 2018 model year BMW i3, the i3 actually had 3 different batteries throughout the lifespan from 2014 up into 2021. Back in 2014, the BMW i3 started with a 60 amp hour battery. That battery was good for 81 miles. Then in 2017, buyers had the option of choosing a 94 amp hour battery that was good for 114 miles of range. And then in 2018, that 94 amp hour battery became standard. In 2019, they changed the battery again, adding more cells, and so that battery is good for 153 miles, and it's a 120 amp hour battery. Now, BMW talks about these battery sizes in amp hours, but the equivalent of the 60 amp hour is a 22 kilowatt hour battery. The equivalent of the 90 amp hour battery is 33 amp hours, and that 120 amp hour battery is 42.2 kilowatt hours. In 2014, DC fast charging or level 3 charging was optional. Starting in 2015, every i3 had DC fast charging level 3 capability. So if you're looking at a 2014 specifically, you want to make sure that it has DC fast charging if that's one of the criteria for your purchase. Now in this 2018 with the 94 amp hour battery, that level 3 charging will charge up to 80% or more, depending on your starting state of charge, in about 30 to 45 minutes. Charging up from a level 2 charger will take you about 5 hours, and then a level 1 charger plugged into a standard wall outlet will take about 24 hours to bring the car up to charge. Now, to add a little bit more complication to that equation, the BMW i3, while being an all-electric car and always powered by an electric motor, was available with what BMW calls a range extender. The best way to tell if the vehicle has a range extender from the outside, if you're looking at used photos, is there will be a fuel filler door right up here on the front passenger side. So if you see that cut out in the side of the body, that's how you know that it has the range extender. That range extender is a 650cc sort of scooter or a motorcycle motor that's packaged under the rear cargo shelf next to the electric motor. Visually, there's nothing to distinguish it from the outside except for that fuel filler door. Having a range extender, that actually takes, you have your normal battery length. Then when that battery is tapped out, that range extender will kick in and charge that battery to get you additional miles of range. The negatives of having that range extender are that it adds extra weight. It actually slows down the performance of the car, so your 0 to 60 times drop a little bit, and then you have the additional maintenance of a range extender. So if you want the simplest version, I would go for the all-electric i3. The interiors on the i3 are interesting. BMW calls them worlds. So back in 2014, it started with Mega World, and then you'd move up to Giga World, and then Terra World. So not only did they have different interior materials and colors, but they also had additional features as you moved up and unique wheels. Now, a few years after the i3's introduction, around 2016, BMW added the Deca World. And Deca World was more the base model trim with gray seats that were all cloth, but still sustainably made. The Mega World package then added Sensitech to the outside of the seats of the trim, so a little bit more upscale. It's sort of like a synthetic leather that's on the seats, and you can see that in this photo with the white trim. Additionally, the Mega World package added a leather trim steering wheel as well. Moving up to the Giga World, and one of my absolute favorite interiors for the i3, you moved up to wool cloth seating with olive tanned leather on the outside, and I really think that this color combination is one of the most outstanding. Now, not only did you get that leather and wool cloth combination with the Giga World package, but that added a universal garage door opener, comfort access, and unique wheels. Keep in mind, comfort access is where you can just leave the fob in your pocket and then grab the handle and give it a tug, and the car will unlock. And if you want to lock the car, you're just going to push your hand on the outside. There's a little spot right here, and the car will lock itself and you can walk away. Moving up to the top trim, the Terra package, you get a full leather interior. You have unique wheels again for the Terra package, anthracite floor mats, and a black wheel. To add just one more curveball to that powertrain equation, In 2018, BMW came out with the sportier edition of the i3 called the i3S. Now this added a slightly more powerful motor. We're talking about 11 horsepower and maybe 20 foot-pounds more of torque. And then you also got a little bit wider track and larger wheels. So the wheels were actually a little bit wider as well. And you had revised suspension that made it a bit lower and a bit sportier. The i3S also added a sport mode to the drive selector. So in addition to comfort and eco, you have a sport mode that will actually tighten the steering wheel and make the pedal response even more responsive. And then visually on the outside, there's a revised front air dam on the i3S that still had the same battery size for the year, so that didn't change, but the i3S's motor is more powerful. Now, throughout the years the i3 was produced, there were various option packages that were available on all of the years. What I think is the most important one is the technology and driver assistance package. Now, the best way to know if it has this package on it, if you're looking at used i3s, in the center of the dash below the hazard button, you'll see a small icon of a car with a ring around it. That means it has the technology package. One of the best features is that it includes the larger 10.25-inch screen. Now, that's a big screen to start with, and then in 2018, BMW moved from an older iDrive version to the iDrive 6, and they actually bumped up the resolution in that center screen, so you have really bright, crisp graphics for 2018 and above. You still get that larger screen before 2018, however, it's not going to have the higher resolution. That technology and driver assistance package also gives you BMW Assist, automatic cruise control with stop and go. That'll bring the car all the way down to 0 and all the way back up. So really awesome that you can get that, starting with a 2014 model year car. And then you also get forward collision warning with pedestrian detection. Also optionally available is a park assist package where it adds front park distance control to the car, so the car will actually parallel park itself. Well, most of the time this works, sometimes it doesn't, and this car has actually bumped into the curb once on me. But it's pretty cool if you're not real great at city parking. It's something additionally there that's available to help you. If you just happen to love music or listening to anything in the car, I think one of the most important things to look for is the Harman Kardon audio package. That's going to bump from 4 speakers to 12 speakers, and it's going to give you a 360 watt Class D amplifier. Beginning in 2018, if you did have that technology and driver assistance package, you could also get wireless Apple CarPlay on the car. In later trims, you could choose adding a sunroof to the i3. It's one piece of glass that slides across the top, but what's unique about this sunroof, or moonroof, is that in the interior, there are sort of small cutouts for the driver and the passenger separately have their own shade so that they can control, as the driver, you can have it open, and as the passenger, you can have it closed. It's important to note that all i3s came with 19-inch wheels standard. Now, depending on which world package, Mega World, Giga World, Terra World, that you chose, you had a different wheel design. These are actually the 20-inch optional wheels that were available from BMW. Unfortunately, you can only get these with summer tires. Those 19-inch wheels, they all have all seasons. If you did choose these 20-inch wheels with summer tires, you can actually buy 19-inch wheels with all-season or winter tires, depending on the climate that you live in, and adjust for the season. Again, throw those winter tires on for the winter and keep these 20-inch wheels with the summer tires on them for the summer. And now for my recommendations when buying a used i3. First of all, I think that you want to look for a 2018 or above model year. Now, if the technology inside the car, if you're looking at a technology package and that crisper graphics and that updated iDrive 6 is not important to you, you can look at a 2017. Now, the reason I say a 2017 or 2018 and above is for that 90 amp hour battery. That's again going to get you 114 EPA estimated miles, and I'm pretty sure that with city driving you can do much better than that. In fact, I've seen 150 miles out of this 2018, and I know others that have seen 160 miles out of that same battery when they're doing city driving. As far as whether or not to choose a range extender, of course that's up to you. I would say do not get the range extender. Now, even if you do get that range extender, keep in mind that that just helps charge the battery when it's depleted. It actually doesn't directly drive the wheels. If you're looking for a more powerful version of the i3, definitely go with the i3S. In the 2018 and above model year, you're going to have more power and better handling. As far as interiors go, if you don't really care about what the interior looks like, yes, you can go with the Deca World. It's a little bit more dark gray and kind of, I think, depressing looking. It can work for some people. You'll want to move up to the Mega World package, which has a nicer, that Sensitech, that white trim on the edge of the seats and a different material in there. My absolute favorite is that Giga World package with the wool seats and then the leather olive tan trim on the outside. I just really think that has a nice contrast to it. It comes with a lighter interior all around like the Mega World and Deca World packages. And then if you have kids or dogs, or you're just in and out of the car a lot, that Terra World package with the all leather interior is going to be the easiest to take care of. I have seen some used i3s with really dirty Mega World and Deca World seats that you're just kind of like, what are people doing in their cars? If sound quality is important to you, definitely choose that Harman Kardon package. If you're looking at used i3s, the easiest way to tell if it has that, and probably the only way visually, is to look at the A-pillars, and you will see the Harman Kardon tweeter in those A-pillars. Now, another reason I say 2018 and above is so that you can have that technology package with the wireless Apple CarPlay. Now, that one you're going to have to check out the spec sheet and make sure that it is equipped with that feature, because there's nothing visual that will tell you that that is on the car. As far as the park assist, I think you can skip that feature. I wouldn't worry if it doesn't have it. It is pretty cool. It works fairly well most of the times. It feels a little outdated, but it can be useful if you're not great at city parallel parking. The final option you can look for when buying a used i3 is whether or not it has a moonroof. And you'll just have to look at detailed photos of the interior to determine if it does have that. As far as maintenance on the all-electric version of the i3, you're going to have your windshield wipers. But other than that, every 2 years, you're going to want to do a brake fluid change, and the car is going to indicate that in the center display. And then every 5 years, you'll have to replace the 12-volt battery, or as recommended, but that's recommended with any car. Every 5 years, you want to put in a new 12-volt battery. Now, here's the best part about buying a used i3, the incredible value that it is. Now, keep in mind, these cars often stickered for over $50,000. Now, I did a 100-mile radius search online to see what the retail price is of a current used i3, and that ranged from $8,000 to $29,000. When I looked specifically at 2018 models, that was $20,000 to $28,000. And then when I did a search on the West Coast, the prices actually dropped to $12,000 to $24,000 for a used 2018 i3. Keep in mind, you may be eligible for a $4,000 federal tax incentive on this car, as well as some local incentives. So really, you can get a 2018 i3 on the West Coast for around possibly $10,000, $11,000 after all the incentives, or maybe even less. In summary, 2018 all electric with whatever options and features you want. I think that the 2018 is just going to give you the battery and range that you would expect. Those 2014 to 2017s with the 60 amp hour battery are getting a bit older. If you don't need to drive a lot of miles, then a 2014 to 2017 with the 60 amp hour battery is going to be totally perfect for you. Thank you again for hanging with me to the end. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comment section. Go ahead and like that video if this was useful, and please subscribe to this channel. That will allow me to make more videos for you on used and new EVs. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.